And we're live. Let's get ready to rumble. I have to say something before. Let's start on one note. There's so much to say. It's exploding out of my chakras. Hold on, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I felt this fucking push in my fucking... As soon as I took a breath, I felt it push in that chakra from the Palladians. I felt like I was gonna puke. Hold on. Because I thought about everything I was going to say, and it's just like, oh, there's so much to talk about. Hold on. I can't breathe. What is wrong with me? Messages from God, dude. Transmissions. Visions. Trying to put it into words. Seeing the words and being overwhelmed by all of the fucking magnitude of what needs to be talked about in how many different areas. In a blink of an eye, bro. Okay, let's start with this. And that's exactly where it starts. What I was supposed to say. I was fucking going pee, and that's what came out. And they're like, this, that, and the other. We don't worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow isn't guaranteed. Therefore, we live the best that we can today. We live for today. We make the most out of today. We live for today, and we don't worry about tomorrow. Right? That's meaning staying in the here and now. Everybody is worried in the sense of we don't think about tomorrow, meaning you don't put your eyes on tomorrow, because all that comes with is worry. You don't put your eyes on uncertainty. You put your eyes on what's in front of you. You create this worry inside of yourself. Where did that come from? Something I saw something related to it. I can't think of it right now. But ultimately, that's what it is everybody's trying to get ahead. They're trying to plan for the future. But the future isn't guaranteed, is what that means. And in essence, you're not enjoying any day of your life when you're trying to create the future that will not be. Right? So, here's how it works. People, and that's where we're going to start with. I'm going to start where I left off. I'm not doing an intro. Hi, I'm the High Priestess Phoenix, spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, light worker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sibyl, messenger of God, the first child of God, Lilith reincarnated. Okay. In order to keep up with me, you would have had to catch last night's video. We talked all about Christ, and I'm going to pick up where we left off. Why? Okay, that's where this all starts. Everything starts in trust and faith in God, the universe, deity, your ancestors, whatever. You trust in something outside of yourself. But you don't have any trust or belief or faith in God. You have no knowing of such things. That you are protected, you are loved, you are needed in your life. And needed meaning you have purpose. And you are important. Right? You don't know these things. You're provided for. All of these things. You believe that you do all these great things and you're all full of great wonders and that you created this life for yourself and you left out God. You didn't see all the times that God came in and made all these wonderful things happen in your life. You made yourself God. You said you did things. And so you continue to play God in your life and show everyone else how you are God. The things that you've created, you live off of the things you created, and you're always telling the people about what your next creation shall be. Right? Okay. That goes on to my next post that I put on my community page. I woke up this morning. No, it started last night. I put my hands in prayer. I stared at my Bible, closed my eyes. I said, don't be, I work on, why do I breathe so hard and why is this so hard? Why do I gotta take so many pauses? Because I'm trying to be Christ-like, dude. I'm trying to take a moment before you speak. Don't just act out in your emotions. Put your emotions into words that can be understood and not hurtful. So the best thing I could come up with, and as soon as I said it, I wanted to puke. It was like, we are so married in the spirit. So I wanted to say it was something I posted. No. I had a conversation with my freaking, you know what I mean, the devil. I always say it too. It's like, is this forever? Am I married to you forever? In spirit, yes, bro. There's one constant, bro. Constant. What is it? Russ. We are so married in spirit, bro. Anyway, so I have this fucking conversation. That's what I saw it as. I was about to say I had a conversation with him in the night, and then woke up and had a conversation, but all I saw was, I had a conversation with my husband last night, and woke up this morning on the same bullshit. It's how I see it spiritually. And I'm like, it's so very much that, but it's like, let me live my life. There's no such thing. Anyway, so, I didn't put, whatever. What happened? God said go look at him. Before bed, he's going to give me nightmares. This is not my dream guy right here. I'm trying to manifest somebody else. I'm really trying to, you know, get into somebody else's bed right now. Wake up in somebody else's arms. Anyways, what was it? I don't know, some stupid ass post about his fucking life and how great, or some shit. Fuck, I don't care. It was important. It wasn't important, and that's how I always tell him, this shit is not important. And then I went to bed. And apparently he responded, like, within an hour of the bullshit I had told him, and he had this video where he's about to get in the shower. Dude, that gave me flashbacks of Bobby, and I heard the shower running. I'm like, he's like, turn the camera on. No, please don't. I don't know what you did. What? Why are you in? Why is the shower running? Anyways, he's all. Can't stand you, dude. He does this clip and he says how this album is a story of his whole life as best as he could tell it. And how putting out clips are just, you know, pieces, but he doesn't want you to misinterpret these pieces as the full picture. And I'm like, trying to paint this invisible picture of your life, bro. I've been studying you for 3 years. You're going to tell me something I don't know? Ooh. And that's what he said, too. Okay, yeah, that's what he said. He said there was, he's like, one of them was the hardest song I've ever had to write in my life. And I was like, are you going to tell me some Kanye shit? Like, no. I think he's a victim to his imagination, bro. I really don't think that anything bad has ever really happened to him. I think he's just mentally ill. I think they're just mentally ill people, bro. I don't think they've really suffered in the sense of what suffering means. Minor rejection. You couldn't pay a couple bills. I mean, you can follow the paper trail, and that's what I mean. They've always had paper, dude. This is a paper, you know what I mean, paper-chasing family. They never had real poverty, bro. They never had all of this. And if they do, he's hiding it, bro. They're all hiding it, bro. And it's like, if you told the truth, okay, I could maybe start having a sense of you might be human, but the shit you say is not authentic, bro. And that's what I said in my earlier video. It's like, you want to tell this story about your life, and that's where I had to stand back. And it's like, everybody wants, you know, their life to mean so much to people, right? That's your profile, all your fucking, you know, your apps and shit, your bio and shit, you know what I mean? Your picture on the wall. This is who I am. This is who I was. That goes back to yesterday's video. It's like, what is your life meaning? What do you have to show for your life? Right? And that goes back to his competitiveness, because I told everyone I was making a soundtrack to my life. Because the soundtrack goes with the documentary of my life, idiots. And I've had an unbelievably overcoming life. And he wants you to believe he's all powerful in what he's overcome, but he hasn't overcome anything. He lives in the same house he bought as soon as he got money. He stays with the same people. He's dated the same girl. He still drives around his very first car, as he said. He still has his Pathfinder. And can't find his way on this wild journey. What journey did you take, bro? You sat there inside of your head and went looking for shit? Because you didn't do anything with your life. You got a bunch of passport stamps and took pictures of your naked girlfriend and bought your family lots of gifts, as you do. You shared this whole role of where you went to Wyoming and Colorado and LA, and it just shows you eating and purchasing and flying. And that's what I said earlier, is that your whole life is about flying and buying. And you want people to respect you and think you're better than us, or that you know what we've been through, or that you've been through anything. That took a lot inside of me, bro, to be like, and it all comes down to the competitiveness. He wants to compete where he doesn't compare. It's all a competition to show off, to showcase himself to the world. What are you showing us? Show me something. Drop your underwear. You don't have anything to stand on, Russ. You want to be praised for nothing, for the shit you buy and the places you go. You have nothing else to talk about, bro. There's nothing else you're gonna say on any other these fucking songs, bro. You didn't say shit on any other song before this. You talk about people. You have no experience to life. You have not left the fucking nest and had a life. Why? Why does nobody leave their nest? Trust, faith, belief, ambition, drive, a sense of bravery, confidence, fearlessness, strength. God, who gives us strength, who gives us desires, who gives us impulses, who gives us the fire within, to be brave, to go, to push against limitations, to do the things we've never done before, to go to the, you know what I mean, to face challenges that we think we're too afraid to do. You'll see it in all of my videos where he pushes me, especially with you, motherfucker. But in the essence, it's like, you can do this. I can't do this. You can do this. I will give you the strength. And I have to overcome my own fears, and I have to walk in that belief and that faith that he has called me to do this. What is the outcome? Me becoming stronger and doing I never thought I could do before. To have a story to tell, that he gave me the strength and he walked me through it, to it, and out of it. All the great stories of the Bible are about that. How God came in and took them on an adventure. You want to say that your life has been an adventure, but you've never left your fucking house. You can't even sit in it. Sorry. That's why I need to start with Christ. Forgive me. I'm breathing fire, bro. Did you hear it? I saw it. I saw the smoke come out of my mouth. Oh, good. Where are you? Jesus, I need you. I need you. Where's the book? Right here. I thought it was in my other Bible. Not easy to do what I do. But I do what I do because I believe that no matter what happens, God's got me. I've learned not to just go out there and fuck up my life and just take risks, unnecessary risks, just to have fun, because I know I'm a good person and God's gonna take care of me. No matter what, God will get me out of this shit. I don't play that game. You know what I mean? But he asked me to be so fucking brave. And I'm so fucking scared. But it's not because I have it in me. It's because I believe in what he's telling me to do. And it's not that I believe in me. It's because I believe in him. Because in those moments, I don't believe this is even possible. And you don't either as you're watching me do it. How many times to shove me out of every nest? You could never have gone through what I've been through. But why did he take me through that? Because I believed in him. And he wanted to show people, and me, that I can always trust him. That he can do great wonders with nothing. He asked me to give up everything and show people, show myself, trust him, that he could take care of me and my family, that I could make something unbelievable believable, that I could literally walk away from this world and hold his hand, and he would take care of me and my family if I just trusted him. And it worked, Russ. You saw it. 3 years. It's almost 3 years, bro. You saw all the wonders, the money, the fucking charity, the fucking adventure. You saw the destruction. You saw him make me give up everything. You saw him make me face all my fears and all my past. You saw what he did. I didn't do that. He did. You can't make up an adventure. Take the fucking journey, bro. It's a journey of trust. It's a journey back home. It's a journey. It's a spiritual journey. It's a healing journey. It's a journey back to God. It's that voice inside of you that's guiding you to make brave moves, like move out of your town, quit your job, start a new relationship, cut your hair, change your clothes, give them some attitude. You call it the Lilith, but it's not. It is. I mean, those of us he gave it to, those of us that embrace that side of our godliness, were called rebels, and we were demonized for it, but no less favored or loved by God and all of the kingdom. For we were his children, just a different part of his life, or of his image. And it still lied within all of his children. I'm not calling on you to pull out your Lilith. I'm calling it, you know what I mean? Where did Lilith come from? From God, bro. The stories are real if you make them real, right? So I'm going to read you, the Bible. And the reason they told these stories, the wonders of God, was all about just trusting and believing. If you could believe in this new belief, this invisible God, this new God, it was a new version of God to them. I don't know if you know it, but the Jews killed Jesus. The favored children killed him. Did you know that? He tried to introduce a new way of, a new doctrine of God, and they rejected it. They rejected their new God. But those of us that accepted it have all glory. It's been proven since the beginning of time, since the beginning of that message. If we so shall accept his teachings of this new God and walk in this new God, and I'm going to bring up Buddha's Bible too, and we'll go ahead and throw in fucking Krishna just to show you that it's all the same teachings. If you can accept this God, then you will be bestowed with these powers. If you want to make it so simplistically. What was it? Trust and belief in a new way of living. First off, surrender. You have to believe that he is a father figure. Meaning he's going to protect you. He's going to provide for you. He's going to guide you. He's going to push you. Imagine Kobe Bryant as your father. Kobe Bryant was another image of God. The dark night of the soul that keeps you pushing and pushing. That's another form of God. We're all an image of God. We all harness God differently, right? So in essence, you have to start with the foundation of who he is for you. He's here to love you and guide you, provide for you, protect you. Jesus came to tell you who God was and how to connect with God and with others under God's rules. Okay? And then, going back to St. Patrick, he was able to go and find our God and everybody else's God. It's very strategic what St. Patrick did. The way that you would say, spread the church, spread the word. Others would say the way he infiltrated pagan religions, because it was very strategic. He went in with an open heart. He wanted to learn the culture, understand their beliefs, and at the same time, you know what I mean, teach. Learn and teach at the same time. Bring the two together, not overrun one with the other, but bring the two together. So he did such things, but then later he would build this great understanding of a church, and he would leave a member of the church, right, with the same understanding. After he went on, the Roman Catholic Church would send in their orthodox ways to all these churches and convert these churches to be very institutionalized, and that's where they lost the meshing, the mending of two religions, and it became one. He didn't mean for such things. 28 years. He's just spent the last part of his life. By that time, he was already in his 40s, bro. You're done for. And he had a vision in his 40s. God said to go spread the word over to them. Because ultimately, they were going to be conquered by the church anyways. At least he was able to show them, still show them a loving way into Christ instead of coming over and being conquered like the Spanish inquiry did. So let's go into where we left off. Okay, going full circle jerkers, and that's where I got overwhelmed. We can't start yet. You want your life to have purpose, then you need to make it purposeful. You have to do the things that bring purpose to your life, the things that call from your heart. You can't play it safe. There's no purpose in being like everyone else, being safe, being organized, being predictable, being normal, being a matrix person, dead asleep, always doing, never receiving. You've got much to do, and that starts where this starts with. You can't enjoy today when you're worried about tomorrow. We live for today. You sit in the here and now, and God will tell you what to do with this day. And He will make it a great day, filled with lots of, adventure. Even if you really never leave your your place. And then sometimes He'll call you out to take you on, wild adventures and stuff like that. But every day with God is an adventure. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of obedience. There's a lot of laughter. It's not like you're just sitting there in front of the door like a dog waiting for Him to come through the door. When you're in the Spirit, waiting on the Spirit, being of the Spirit, not doing what your mind says, not being all busy in the, let me do this, let me do that. When you're not doing, there's a lot to be receiving. Okay? So, Jesus spoke of this thing. He says, live in the Spirit and not in the flesh. Don't live in the law. Has created as the constructs. These are laws. These are philosophies. These are the way of life. He was trying to teach you a new way of life. Okay? So going back to what we taught yesterday, Paul sends he's sending letters to Romans about Jesus. What has happened? We went through chapters 1 through 3, and we left off on chapter 4, trusting God. He was telling people the message of what the new message was, what Jesus came and proclaimed, and how to live the new way of life according to Jesus' teachings. That's what we all do as priestesses and priests. We honor a deity, and we tell you how to pray to that deity. Going back to this chick that wrote that's the high priest, or the priestess of Morgan. She spent her life dedicated to honoring the goddess Morgan, myself. She teaches others how to honor her, what the lessons that she teaches you, what are offerings, how to connect with her, how to do magic with her, all of that. She's a priestess of Morgan. Alright? I teach you all of that. I am a priestess of God, and I teach you all of the gods that all of us that were gods. I am His goddess. I remind you of those that have died and those that still live on. All of the teachings of God, that God ever existed. I teach you all of God. I serve the one true God, and I show you how all of us did. I am an ascending master as they were. Isis, of course. But in this life, I will be known as ascending master Lilith. Trusting God. So how do we fit what we know of Abraham, our first father in faith, into the new way of looking at things? There it is. Division of the religion. There's lots of evolution of you know what I mean, the teachings. That's what it is. It's an evolution of how to be more godly. And I told that yesterday, over and over. God came and showed the new. He rewrote his own rules. He didn't break them. He finalized his rules and wrote the new way of life through Jesus. That's why time ended and started over. There was a new way. It was a new time. There was a new time to be had. All right. So, how do we know, or how do we fit what we know of Abraham, our first father in faith, into the new way of looking at things? If Abraham, by what he did for God, got God to approve of him, he could certainly have taken credit for it. But the story we're given is a God story, not an Abraham story. Do you see what I said? You want your lives to be great stories, but not in glory to God, in glory to yourself, what you've accomplished all by yourself. There's no God in your life. You're godless, as we said in the earlier stories in chapter 2. Go catch my reading last night. What we read in Scripture is Abraham entered into what God was doing for him, and that was the turning point. That's when you realize you work with God. He trusted God to set him right instead of trying to be right on his own. It's all about that. You surrender to God and say, I am going to follow your ways. Be guided by you. I trust, and that's what Jesus said. Say from your mouth that you believe in the Father. Accept him into your heart. Ask for his forgiveness, for his wisdom and his guidance. Walk by his rules and by his ways, and ultimately treat others as you shall be treated. So simplistic, but it's not. Going back to Kim Kardashian, that was hilarious. I want to point out 3 things I saw on the internet. Kim Kardashian and Kourtney Kardashian putting hands on each other. 50 Cent sitting in front of Joe Budden, not saying a motherfucking thing. And Kevin Gates showing up at the Lakers show after dissing LeBron James' wife. Breathe. Let me start with the first thing. How old are all these people? They're in their 40s, aren't they? 30s, 40s? And they're out here beefing like little kids. One's talking about this dude's wife and then buys tickets to his game. Why? Both of these guys, God is good on that one. That's good shit. Pretend to be the worst enemies, and God sits them right in front of each other. And don't neither of them say shit to a motherfucking face. You got a lot to say on camera, but let's see what you two do when we put you two in the ring and put the camera on you. You ain't saying shit, bitch. Going back to Kevin Gates. You don't like him so much, and you don't like his wife so much, but you gonna pay money to sit at his fucking sweat, to have his ball sweat in your face? Kim Kardashian, Kourtney Kardashian. You have a disagreement in front of your 20-year-old sisters, and you have the nerve to start putting your hands on each other and swinging on each other because you have a disagreement on TV and you're supposed to be goddesses? I cannot. You guys are hilarious. Hilarious. There's a story to tell. And then what? We're going to come back and point fingers. It was here. Let's talk about them. Let's talk about this. Y'all. I'm sure there was so much more that was going on. Oh, yeah. You know, Kanye was sucking dick and he was fucking his teacher. And, you know, so-and-so and this and that. And Cardi B put her finger up her boyfriend's butt and who knows what else. And, you know what I mean? Somebody's fucking somebody else. You guys are... Pull it back. I'm such the Joker, dude. I'm such the Joker in those moments. I sit in my car and I have those moments. I just start busting up with the most devious laugh. I'm so scary, I think. I think you guys, and I just die. I can't. These are the people in power that you pay attention to? Are you watching them? I only caught a glimpse. A picture says 1,000 words, bro. That's it. I was scrolling through Facebook and it was just pictures with headlines. And I'm like, wow. This is what y'all are talking about? These ain't saying they can't control their motherfucking feeling bitches. This is hilarious. Hilarious. Going back to it, you guys are stupid. You need Jesus. You need Jesus, bro. In the essence, alright. Going back to these boys. These dudes talk nothing but shit about other niggas all day on the internet. Joe Budden has a whole podcast about talking shit about people. That is all 50 Cent does. They're like best friends. They should be. They should be on the same couch talking about the same people because apparently they don't like the same people. They made a career out of doing the same shit. It's the same bitch times two. Acting like they don't like each other, like somebody does it better. Who talks more shit? I don't know. Marshall sits around and he talks hella shit too. You got something to say on this, Royce? Fat neck? Hold the mic. He does the backups, right? I thought you was going to say something. I was! Right after you! You don't even know the name of my band. I motherfucking do. G-Unit. Hey, is that Young Buck? Let me take you to the dirty. Yeah, bro. Day one. Marvin. We're in Marvin's room now. Punchlines in your motherfucking guts, bro. Are you serious? You bitches stand there. These grown-ass men sit there talking shit about niggas all day long. God put you niggas right in front of each other and you couldn't say shit. Bitch, I'm swinging on you. I'm swinging on you. I guess you weren't. You're not Kim Kardashian and Kourtney Kardashian. You talk about my wife. I'm gonna knock you out with this ball, bro. I'm gonna drop my balls on your face, bro. What? Well, he's over there in a fucking maid suit at a Diddy's party, so he can't take that message right now. But I'll get back to some internet shit. Do you hear Kobe? We was in ringside on that one. Kobe saw it all. Kobe's clapping. Now make it clap. Oh! You got Busta Rhymes. Are you tired of masturbating? Are you tired of blowjobs? He's not. He wants more. Alright, bring it back. Put your hands up. Big deep breath in. I am the goddess of hell, and I love watching God's children suffer and act like fucking hellions. There's nothing rebellion about your hellion. Marshall, you writing all this down? These are your friends? Russ want to be like these people? Kanye, you were married to this shit? And then you guys had kids? You are kids. How the fuck you got kids, bro? You are kids. I had a whole discussion. Yesterday in the middle of Bible study, I had to have this whole conversation with my own kids. Now I'm talking to about a bunch of people that are actually older than me. Flesh bags? You fleshes should know better. No, you don't. You don't know no better. Here I gotta come and tell you, be your mother. That's what makes me the goddess. God does this job, I do mine. I gotta fucking nurture you and fucking forgive you and brush you off and shit before he comes and whoop your ass. I think what he did was funny as fuck. He made you show your ass. And that's what we call an ego death. These niggas so hard, but then neither one of them turn around and say shit. You ain't saying shit, bitch. Joe Budden had the upper hand, right? Not really, though. Because if fucking 50 would have just turned around and socked him, he would have been right at face level. They had to have thought about it if they really had beef, but they didn't. They was scared. I'd have sat there the whole time watching both of them. Bust a move, bitch. Bust a rhyme. Bust a move, bitch. Bust a move, bitch. Bust a move, bitch. I see, who am I seeing? I'm seeing, Bernie Mac. He's standing there doing his little dancey dance. Bust a move, bitch. Bust a move, bitch. Bust a move, bitch. You bitch ass niggas. Ain't nothing faker than a bunch of fucking rappers. I'd have gone to jail over some old beef. Let's squash this. I'm gonna squash you. God finally put us at the same place at the same motherfucking time. America's Most Wanted about to go on. You ain't thug. That ain't that. You ain't about that thug life. G-Unit. This is your boy band group? Showed up on the block with? Oh. Here comes. I don't fuck with you. Big Sean, you in on this? You need to X-nay on the Oopit stay right away. Trust in God, bro. What happened, dude? The fuck are you doing on my page? This is all bad. Alright, let's go back to God. Damn, Abraham. What do we know about Abraham? We need a Jewish guy. We need somebody that studies Abraham. I mean, damn. I don't want to read all those stories. This is the Old Testament. That's like, I watched it. Don't make me read it. It's so much better in real life. People are like, the books are better. I don't think so. You should have seen what I said. Yeah, I don't think the words fully described it. They didn't have the right language to describe this shit. Whatever. It goes back to that. Let's talk about it. But if you see that the job is too big for you, that's something only God can do. I just want to highlight this because, I was talking about it. Abraham entered into what God was doing for him, and that was the turning point. He trusted God to set him right, instead of him trying to be right on his own. You trust God to build your kingdom and that you don't have to do it on your own. If you're a hard worker and you do a good job, you deserve pay. We don't call your wages a gift. And that's it. God pays for me to survive. I do work for him, and he is my, I am his worker, and he is my, provider. He's everything, and he's supposed to be everything to you in that sense. But if you see the job is too big for you, that's something only God can do, and you trust him to do it, you never do it for yourself, no matter how hard or long you've worked. Well, that trusting him to do this is what gets you right by God, or right with God, by God, sheer gifts. And that's what it is. It's like you just trust him. It's like, I don't want to do this, God. Don't make me do this, God. Don't make me do this. He wants you to be brave. He wants you to stand up for yourself. He wants you to leave someone alone. He wants you to trust in the unknown. And you're begging and screaming and you don't want to do it, but you do it. I talk a lot of shit, but I do it. I'm obedient to his calling. And I don't fully know what he's trying to make me do. And I'll be really mad. Going back to my twin flames. Why, God? Why'd you make me think that this was going to work with them? Any of them. Going back to Bobby, what were you thinking? I was trying my logical mind knew better. Every time he tells me to come to you, it's my heart, not my mind. My mind knows way better and can't stand you. We discovered that working through my personalities. My heart longs for you, not my mind. My ego will not fuck with you. I have to fight my ego all the way, dumb it down to its very non-existent self of fear and shame and persecution, and walk in this heart space of facing any of you bastards. I have a choice to say, no, I don't want to look. In the sense of, I'm afraid, I can't overcome this, you have some power, you're stronger than me, you're going to bother me. No. If God wants me to face you, then I'm going to face you. I'm not going to sit there and pretend like these two did. But I'm also not going to put my hands on you like those two did. I'd be saying that. I'm going to fuck the shit up out of Russ. I'd be like, I'm going to suck the shit out of him. I always say that. And then you see it like, that look kind of dumb. I'm not going to do that. God says I wouldn't. I'm obedient, even if I wanted to. I don't act in those feelings. We have them, and I'm here to tell you they're real and raw, and they're okay. You're not a demon for feeling like you want to fuck up a job. Everybody was watching that like, fuck her up, yeah, fuck her up. You're like, you dumb bitches. You know, if you were watching that live, and you watch these two start fighting, Kim and Courtney, I'd be like, fuck them up. Dude, that's how I am right now. Why the fuck didn't fucking 50 Cent and Joe Budden fight? Why the fuck didn't LeBron James fucking, you know what I mean, fucking slam that dude with the ball? What would you got? It would have been funny. It'd been all over the news and shit. Either one of them. It says they fucking act accordingly. They gotta fucking follow the rules like everybody else. But when they leave, but when they leave, I'll be talking shit. I'll be talking shit. Alright, Smokey. Anyways, go back to this. David confirms this way of looking at it, saying that one who trusts God to do the putting everything right without insisting on having a say in it is one fortunate man. And that goes back to karma and judgment and stuff like that. In the essence of, if you were really all about that life, you would have been about that life. You know what I mean? And if you weren't about that life, then you would have stood up and apologized and, you know what I mean? You wouldn't, you're nothing. In that moment, you showed you were nothing, bro. You didn't face the beef, period. You acted like it wasn't there. Like the beef you two created between each other, all of you, all the 3 different instances, isn't real. And you didn't walk in your true feelings. Whether it would have called for you fighting and acting in those rageful feelings, which is, again, acceptable. I mean, you know, to an extent, don't kill somebody. But, you know, in the sense of, it's okay to act in your feelings, but to deny your feelings and pretend that they're not real is absolute bullshit. Kevin Gates according to it, Kevin Gates had made fun of LeBron James' wife, and then came to his show, paid money to come to his job, and sit in his face after he made fun of him. In that moment, if he didn't act in how I would have, which is, I would have fucking thrown that ball straight at your face, that's how I would have acted. I think about this. What would you have done? I would have thrown the ball at him. On purpose. For whatever reason, there's a penalty, maybe I gotta pay a fine, I don't know. I'm gonna get my point across. Period. Don't be talking about my wife. If you actually respected your wife, you have to stand on that, dude. In the instance of Will Smith, the actions weren't perfect, but he had to stop somebody. He had to make a stand so that nobody ever did this again. Now everybody was fearful, and that's kind of Marshall. He made a stand where you don't talk about his children or his life. Whatever the case may be. He didn't act in that. So if you came home to me and be like, you didn't say nothing to that nigga? Nope. That's not cool. For him to be so disrespectful and think that he got away with it, he knew he could get away with it. He tested the waters. Kevin Gates stood front side to say, what you gonna say about what I said? Meaning he asked for confrontation. It didn't have to be physical. He could have walked up and said, I don't appreciate what you said. Thanks for coming to my show. And killed him with kindness. it should have been addressed. 50 Cent and Joe Budden being that close to in proximity, his balls on his neck, literally sweat in his neck, and not turning around and having nothing to say to him after all these years. You're a coward, both of you. You didn't tap on his shoulder. You didn't kick him in the neck. You didn't say nothing. You didn't high-five him. You didn't say, are we still funkin'? You want to funk now? You didn't address the fucking elephant, which is what? You. The beef you created with these people. In the essence, I don't exactly know what the clip was about Courtney and Kim, but Courtney was telling Kim to take some accountability. And Kim was just acting like, She's like, nah, don't be doing that shit. So what are you going to do? And then she kind of ran at her. And then she's like trying to, you know what I mean? So, in essence, it's like, that's when my daughter, you know, they're like, you know what I mean? Do something about it. I'm just saying, bro. Cowards. It's better to stand up than to stand down. It's not about winning. It's about closure. Why didn't you assess the situation? Why didn't you face the fucking challenge in front of you? The elephant. Why didn't you fucking seize the moment? You only get one shot, one opportunity. This is your chance to say your truth, to stand up to the person that you've been fighting with, you know, an invisible fight that you've been having in the internet for God knows how long. Who knows what the fuck you two started fighting about? And why you fight with everybody else to begin with. Why you're always over there picking on other people. Obviously, when someone comes in your fucking ring, you ain't gonna do shit. And I said that yesterday. If somebody stood up to me, do I know that Marshall would swing on them? As big and bad as Marshall Mathers is he gonna swing before I do? Is he gonna pull out his sword? Or he's gonna call his bodyguard? And I will always love you. I thought about that movie. Thought about Whitney Houston. You and your bodyguard. Shut up. Who's gonna protect you from what? Look at 50 Cent. All of that and couldn't do shit. You guys are all blown up bullshit fucking sex dolls. Bunch of little boys. Boys in the... You're not. There's nothing faker than a rapper. At this moment, they're like, aren't you a woman? I thought I was supposed to be, but do you understand the type of men that exist? How can a woman be a woman when there's no man? Somebody has to stand up and act in this godliness that, you know, be guided by God to be a better person. There's no God in their lives. They don't have any guidance to be good guys. So they're just guys. Which is mere men. Men without God are just destructive fleshbags. They have no purpose, they have no service, they're nothing. They're just at war with what? Everything and everyone, trying to conquer and destroy. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, how many of our emperors outside of, you know what I mean, the Asian, like, how many of the emperors went down in history, and what did they go down in history for? Great kings went down in history, you know what I mean, what did they do for their kingdoms? Long live the Queen. Our president's doing a wonderful job, isn't he, though? Alright. God sets things right. He also makes it possible for us to live in his righteousness. So where does this leave our proud Jewish insiders who claim counterclaims? Canceled. Yes, canceled. That what we've learned is this. God does not respond to what we do. We respond to what he does. Do you remember that? Okay, I had to reread that to you. It's like it's not by your great works. It's how you allow God to work in your life. How you work with God. You can't buy your way into heaven. It's not your great works. It's your life and how God works in it. And what God has done with your life. It's all glory to you though, right? Freaking I'm saying Russ and his, every one of you have it. You have this Hall of Fame of you. And his fucking, as soon as you enter his house, he's got this fucking, it's in all his videos. Everybody that ever goes to his house, his girlfriend's taking a million pictures of it. It's all his plaques and all these pictures of how great he is. As soon as he walks in, he has a monument, a shrine to himself. But that's what all of your apartments and your houses are, a shrine to yourself and to your family. Of all your great wonders and your successes. No glory to God. How did you get these things? Oh, nobody helped me. I did it all by myself. Okay. Alright, let's go back to this. Let's see. God doing the putting everything right without insisting on having the say is one fortunate man. Fortunate are those crimes are carted off, whose sins are wiped clean from the slate. Fortunate the person against whom the Lord does not keep score. Do you think for a minute that the blessing is only pronounced over those who kept our religious ways and are circumcised? Ooh, talking to you Christians. Can I speak to the Christians? Please. Do you think for 1 minute that these blessings are only pronounced for those of us who keep our religious ways and are circumcised? Or do you think that it's possible that the blessings could be given to those who never heard our ways, but who were never brought up in the disciplines of God? We all agree, don't we, that it is by embracing what God did for him that Abraham was declared fit before God. Abraham accepted God and therefore became the father of God. And that's it. Jesus accepted God, and he told you if you accepted God, you would be a child of God. And that's what gave Jesus all that power. He was the Son of God. And he told you that you were children of God as well. I don't know why you keep, I do know why. The church created all this division. Now think, what that declaration made before and after he was marked by the covenant rite of circumcision. That's right, before he was marked. That means that he underwent circumcision as evidence and confirmation of what God had done long before to bring him into the acceptable standings within himself, an act of God he had embraced with his whole life. And it means further that Abraham is the father of all people who embrace what God does for them, while they are still on the outs with God. And yet, and that's what it is everyone's like, God is good, God is good, God is great. Those are the ones that talk about what God has done for him, but don't walk with God. And yet, unidentified as gods, in an uncircumcised condition. It's precisely these people in the condition who are called set right by God and with God. Abraham is also, of course, father of those who have undergone the religious rite of circumcision, not just because of the ritual, but because they were willing to live in the risky faith embracing of God's action for them, the way Abraham lived long before he was marked by circumcision. That famous promise God gave Abraham, and that he and his children would possess the earth. He was not given because of something Abraham did or would do. It was based on God's decision. He put everything together for him, which Abraham then entered when he believed. Okay, I had to stop right there because I was thinking about Cain and Abel. Abel was chosen with the prophetic gifts and everything, right? And therefore Cain killed him. Everybody wants to say that Abel was the chosen one, but Abel was chosen to die. Yes or no? Your life was written before it was here. Your days are numbered, your destiny is set. You're just walking in it. You've already lived this life. You're just here to experience. You're experiencing it in the here and now, but not very much if you're worried about what's to come. You're exactly where you said you were supposed to be at this time. People ask me how they get off their path. how you stray away from your path, how you leave God. Just because you're not walking with him doesn't mean he's not walking with you. That goes back to the footprints in the sand poem. You'll only know, and that goes back to Jobs. He had said that. You can't do a connect the dot without looking backwards. You can't see, the whole picture without seeing where you've been. Right? You had to go there to get here. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Is what that means. Everything was done the way it was supposed to be. My biggest fight with God is the tree. My biggest fight with God is the tree. It wasn't the devil. It was the serpent, myself. Shapeshifter. I was always the serpent. I don't know why they put... It's lies. Because they didn't want you to know of the power of women. That's what God just told me. That's why. Why did they create this devil? They didn't want you to know of the power of women. Okay, fine. They said the serpent was Lucifer, the fallen angel. The only thing dark that they had known of. But the only thing darker than that angel was women. The power of women. The dark goddess. I am the goddess. So going back to it. He created the tree. He created chaos. He created temptation. The tree. He didn't need to put it in a tree. He didn't need to put it in a tree. But he gave us a choice. He created this chaos. He knew how this would go. He wrote the beginning to the end. It's all in this book. Where do you fit in, right? So, the tree. Adam and Eve are in the garden. It says that he told Adam and Eve this. I don't believe, it's not that he told Lilith and Adam this. He told Adam and Eve this, that they could eat of any tree, anything of the garden, but not this tree, the tree of knowledge and wisdom. They did not do such things. They were persuaded by the serpent. The serpent told them, if you eat of this, you too shall be of God, be like God. Right? Meaning, God held a part of himself back from them. But not from the world. He put it in a plant. He put it in the tree. Right? He held them back from knowledge and wisdom. And instead he put it in the earth, but not in the humans. And told them not to fill themselves of this. You don't need the knowledge and the wisdom. I will guide you. I will provide for you. I will protect you. You don't need this. I am your God. Keep your eyes on me. You don't need to know. It's a not need to know basis, was the rule. And I said, and so I said, if you eat of this apple, you too shall be like God, and you shall have the knowing. And that was it. They weren't even tempted. The apple itself, or the tree itself, was the temptation. But again, he allowed me to tempt them. He allowed them to eat it. There was many things he did not allow. He did not allow the fire, you know what I mean, to burn, I can't even think of his name. There was other things. He defeated all enemies, right? He did not allow the Egyptians, he parted the Red Sea. He did all wonders. He did not stop me. The whole universe watched this. There's only two people on the planet. They're doing nothing but watching these two and seeing how they live on this new world. Right? And then here I am. They've watched me the whole time. There was first us two, and one took off. So now they're watching me and them. And I'm watching them. They're watching me watch them. That's it. We're all watching them. Everybody's watching them. We're all watching them, but they're watching me watch them. So I decide I'm going to meddle with them. And then Lucifer meddles with them. And those are the stories that are told. We meddle with God's children. And then you hear what God does with us. I cast you into the Red Sea. The same Red Sea you're parting. Can I get out now? No. God had a daughter and he locked her away. A little something like that. He just gave me a place to play, if you ask me. But going back to it is, he created the story. You want God to get your family off of drugs and alcohol, but they were born into a life of drugs and alcohol, and you think he's not trying to get them off of drugs and alcohol? That he's not trying to give them the strength? That he's denying them the strength to do such things? That's not how God works. They're not walking in that strength. They know what they need to do. They don't think they have the strength to do it. They have to just walk in it. I can't do this. I can't do this. Yes, you can. Believe you can. And that's you sitting in a wheelchair and me telling you you can. And you believing it. I can inspire greatness in you because it's all in what you believe. And that's what it is. You can eat this apple. And so they did. And he didn't stop me. It was in the essence of what did it mean cast out? Meaning you're never going to listen to me again. You're not going to hear my voice. So then, you know what I mean? It was always them trying to, get back to God, which was hear him again. Be guided, protected, go back home. Just get back home where he could take care of us again. Where we didn't have to take care of ourselves anymore. We didn't have to be God. We could be his children again. It's the whole fucking story, bro. It's the whole fucking story. Go back to the garden and be his children and be taken care of and have everything that we need. There. In his womb, where he can take care of us again. I show you to live on heaven on earth here, to be in the Eden, to be in his womb, to be in his graces, to be in that. What does it take? Trust and faith, bro. A lot of it. He's coming. He's got you. He won't forsake you. If he's making something go away, it's because it's time to let go of that something. He'll give you another something. If he's taking away your house, that's not the devil. It's God pushing you to something new and great. A new adventure, a better place, new family, new friends, a new job. If you get a new house, you probably need a new job. He took away my job. Yeah, because he wants you to have new adventures. He wants you to learn new skills. He wants you to be in a new environment, make new friends. My boyfriend and I weren't working out. You weren't happy. He wants you to fall in love again. He wants you to feel sexy again. He wants you to do all of this all over again and see if you can do it any better. He's destroying your life to create your life, and that's what all of these stories are about. A normal person that he made great. He can make all things great, and that's what this is all about right here. It's trusting him. Saying the one who trusts God to put everything right without insisting on having their say is one fortunate man. Go back to being his child. Okay? And that's it too. Do you think it's only the people that knew about God? No. He's there if you just accept this message of what it takes. Alright? The famous promise God gave Abraham is that he and his children would possess the earth. It was based on God's decision to put everything together for him. God didn't have to earn it. You don't have to earn God's love. Just walk in it. He wants to love you. He wants to take care of you. He's always taking care of you. He's always protecting you. He's always loving you. He wants you to embrace that and allow more of it in. Allow the relationship to deepen. God always took care of me. I just didn't trust him to take care of my finances. I didn't trust that he could take care of me if I didn't have money in my pocket. He showed me that he could take care of not just me, but my family. And he can take us on great adventures. I had no money, bro. You don't understand. I wasn't like sucking dick or selling pictures or nothing. He did this in faith. Strangers would give me money. He showed me how to survive, how to ask for help, how to, you know what I mean? He showed me new ways of surviving and walking in it, you know what I mean, to make his, this journey. I didn't believe it. I mean, I knew it, but I had to walk in that knowing. I knew what he was capable of. I too didn't think I was worthy and he could do such great things. Like, how is this going to happen? I don't know. I never had anything in my pocket. I never had a plan. I never knew what was happening. I just kept trusting him. It was one step at a time. He would tell me to go here. I don't know how I'm going to get there. Just get in your car and go. I'll show you the way. I'll tell you what to do. And he did. What am I going to say to them, God? I'll give you the words. How am I going to face them, God? You'll stand tall. It's that heart, bro. It's your heart telling you and not your mind. You know, your mind, it's a conversation for sure. If those who get what God gives them only by doing everything they are told to do, by filling out all the right forms properly signed, that eliminates personal trust completely and turns the promise into ironclad contract. And that's it. If you don't do this, then God won't give you, you won't earn the keys to his kingdom. That's where the laws of the church come in and say that you have to do this. Listen. If those who get what God gives them only get it by doing everything that they're told to do, by following all those rules in the Bible, filling out all the forms properly signed, and it eliminates the personal trust completely and turns the promise into a contract. That's not a holy promise. That's a business deal. A contract drawn up by a hard-nosed lawyer with plenty of fine print only makes sure that you will never be able to collect. And that's it. If you don't walk by these rules, you can't curse, you can't be gay, you can't dress this way, you can't do drugs, you can't listen to this music, you can't watch sex, you can't have lust, you can't have anger, you can't cut your hair this way, you can't love the same sex, you can't do any of this. None of this is getting you into heaven, people. But all of that is what people are made of. They were here to express themselves and explore the world. And as they express themselves in the world, you damn them for their expressions. They're kids, children of God that have come here to explore the world he has created for them. And you tell them every time they touched or said or did something that you don't approve of, that they are ungodly. God brushes them off, picks them up, and takes them on another adventure, and you sit there looking like an asshole for judging them. He loves them no matter what you say. He forgives them, and he guides them, he protects them, and he's on their side. Fuck your karma. Your karma is that they have to learn hard lessons. They're not going to hell, they're in hell. Of their mind. They can overcome it. You can't put them in a place they're not at. And he's not going to make them suffer any more than they're making themselves suffer. That's not our God. As the goddess of hell, you walked yourself in here. I show you where's the door. You can sit here and suffer while I laugh at you, or you can go be free with God. He loves you. He's waiting for you. Accept him. He's accepting of you. He forgives you. You don't have to stay here anymore. Nobody even put you down here. You put yourself down here by your stupid beliefs. What am I doing down here? I like it, the darkness. I like it. It's entertaining. Way more fun than sitting in the light. They're just... I told you can see it in me. Love and lighters are boring. These are fucking annoying. I love the conflict. I love the chaos. I love the fucking grim and gross and drama. And I'm the goddess of darkness, bro. The fucking dark. The more dingy... I'm with it. You a sucking dick. Let's talk about it. That's my favorite thing to do. I won't fuck him, but I'll suck him. That is the Lilith way. He might be a king of wands. Come here, let me take the magic straight out that stick. Sorry. And that's it. I can make a joke out of the most horrendous, the most heinous things. You fucked him in the anus? What's the difference between a man and a woman's anus? Come on, let's find out. God loves me. It's not like I can't go straight up with that dirty ass mouth into his kingdom and hey God, what are we doing today, God? Shut up. You don't know God. And you don't know the darkness. You deny your darkness, bro. You think God denies it. You think he doesn't love it. He's got a dark sense of humor too. Where do you think I came from? I am that dark side of God, bro. I am the dark goddess. I am the dark feelings of God. Isn't it great? I teach you how to harness these darknesses and bring joy to them. Make love and light. Love and light, bitches. Love your life. It's not that bad. You want to get out of hell now? Okay, just stay there. I'm going to laugh at you. Why did he bring... That's what it is. You brought Lilith back to life. They were waiting on it. Dude, they had to pause for that cause. It was the biggest pause in the world when I woke up. Like, oh God, she's alive. She's alive. This is going to be the best journey of our lives. They're living vicariously through me because they guide me. They're like, all right, this is going to be fun. And then I'd be like, I know you're fucking with me. That was not in the contract. You did too much. You're doing the extra mostest right now. That was not part of it. How's it feel, Lilith? I'll see you on the other side. I'll see you on the other My guides, my ancestors. What, you mean the Ascending Masters? Bunch of bully brothers? Bully brothers. There's nothing worse than me. There's not. You better do your history. What's worse than Callie? I was created for such things. I will destroy them. I will destroy your enemies. What the fuck do you think you pray to Lilith for? Assholes. Who's the enemy? The church is the enemy of Christ right now. It always was. I have to set my cup down. What's in your cup? It always was. The church was the enemy of Christ. Christ had no enemies but the church. The church rallied the people against Christ. They hung him. Why? Because they didn't want to accept this new way of life. I'm not following it. That goes back to Titus. I'm going to stop here. Oh, Titus. That's the... Oh my God, Becky! At the top of Mother Cabrini Shrine, there's this place called the... there's a bunch of these little gardens and shit, and this one's called something... The Holy Spirit, the walk of the Holy Spirit, the fruits of the Holy Spirit. Anyways, when you walk in, it says Titus verses. It's not this. This is the New Testament, not the old one. Verses 1:7-8. Let's pull it out in the old Bible. The old one. The old way of life. No, it's a new way. We stopped time. When are you going to get on this, dude? That's what they didn't accept. And now, at this time, who's the enemy of Christ? Always. Always and forever. Where's Titus, dude? I don't think I ever read that in my real life. Real life. Where would it be? I'm at Job. Not Job. Anybody know where Titus is in this book? I don't either. Let's look at the beginning. There's so many fucking feathers in here. Alright, Titus. Come on. Okay, well maybe it's not in the Holy Bible. That doesn't make sense. I gotta go up there. I haven't... Okay, I don't know. That's weird. Where did it come from then? Where's the verse that's at the fucking gates of that fucking walkway? I gotta find it. Somebody write that down. Take a picture. I don't give a fuck. Going back to it, this is all about trusting God. It's not about your works, but how God works in your life. And working with this new way of life, which is trusting God and allowing God to be God in your life. Surrendering to the unseen and all of that. And, you know, you're going to have to give into the condemnation of what you deem as darkness, which is, the darkness was created by them. They said such things were ungodly. Really? Blowjobs are ungodly? Is God not watching you do it? Why would you say that's ungodly when all the gods were sleeping with the mortals? I want a blowjob. I know, who doesn't, right? Yes. Why doesn't your girlfriend give blowjobs? Because she thinks it's ungodly? I don't know. What's your dick taste like? You're never gonna get no fucking religion like this. Oh my God! Just talking about it, it's like, how do you pull out the Bible and talk about this stuff? Because I'm the dark side of it all. I'm that dark voice inside of you. I'm not the one telling you to fucking, you know what I mean, rise up against people and try to take over God and people. That would be Lucifer. That's your masculinity, bro. Your femininity is not that bad. Your dark feelings are not that bad. Your dark actions are what fucked you up. And that's what it is. You sit with your dark feelings. Don't yell and scream and hit people. Because that's when you become a dark, you know what I mean? or dark masculine. You can have dark feelings. You just don't, when you use dark actions, now you're a dark god. There's nothing wrong with being a dark goddess. There never was. If you can't control it, yeah, and that's what history will show you. And that was what was wrong with Lucifer. He was all godly until he put on those feelings. And he fell subject to those feelings. And that's what the saying is. Hell know no fury than a woman's scorn. Meaning the feminine side of him. He fell to that. And he acted in those feelings. The action is God. Divine masculine is your actions. Divine feminine is your feelings. You're supposed to, what we're doing is mastering our mind and our emotions. Acknowledging how we think and how we feel, but knowing when to act. And how to act. How to overcome the feelings. This too shall pass. Our feelings are real. And that's what I teach you is the divine feminine. I'm here about your feelings. Especially the dark ones that you deny. That you think make you a bad person. That have deemed you ungodly and whatnot. That's not real. Those are given to you by God, and he can't take them away from you. And you pray to God, and you deem yourself, you know what I mean? Like this power is of you. That it came from you. No, it's in every single human being. And that is our challenge, is to overcome these feelings. And in history shows those that could not. Why did they do this? They were hurting. They were scared. It's the bottom line why people do evil deeds, as you call them. Why did they rape that person? They were hurting. They were scared. You're like, what do you mean? Do we really want to go all the way back and break this down to childhood? Because that's where it comes from. Why do you think we specialize in childhood? Because that's where it is. The adult you are now is from the child you were. You were a child, and this is what you became. That made me cry so hard yesterday. That made me cry so hard. I had to go lay down after that. There was a post on Facebook, and it said, Steve from Blue's Clues was checking up on the innocent children that are adults now on his TikTok, and the comments were crucial. All I saw was his face. Hey guys, let's see how life's been treating you. And as soon as it opened, I just started crying. It's like, dude, we are not those kids anymore. You have no idea. There was like, I'm overcoming addiction. I got divorced. I'm barely making it. I want to cry. And life's been so horrible. And it's like, dude, we wanted to grow up. We had no idea what growing up was going to do to us. And now we're lost kids. The Lost Boys is what I heard. 2 cards fell on the floor. Damn, we're still in a 4 of Swords. If you don't get out of my face, let's talk about Temperance. It's a Sagittarius card. Obviously, we're still on a timeout, a truce, a surrender. When you're ready, it's all about surrendering, dude. Let God be gone. Ooh, I went to the Queen of Pentacles. That's a good one. That means I'm stable in my earth energy. All right. Here we go. The Fool has passed death. He wonders what he now is and what he will become. When everything is gone and it all falls down after the tower, everything's over. You don't even know what you are anymore and what you're going to become. And that's what it is. If I leave this life, what life will I be? And that's what I'm trying to show you is you're not even the life that you live. If you're your job, then you don't stand for anything. You're just another rapper, another something, another father, another husband. What did he put on his post? Just the most basic outline of what a man should be, something stupid. You're not, like, and all the priests around the world, they're all just priests. Is any of them more highly favored? Do they have a higher place, a higher standing with God or the communities? Which one of them makes it? Which one is a better priest? They all wear the same outfit. What makes them better? The one that's kinder? The one that's more, that does more service for the people? The one that cares more? The one that, tries more? Otherwise, they just all do the same fucking job. What makes a priest powerful? He knows the Bible more than you. Well, he spent 8 years studying it before they gave him that title. If you spent 8 years, you'd know as much as him. I'm just saying, why is he favored by God? If you walked in that understanding and you follow the rules, but then it says that you can't buy your favor into God. They're not favored by God. They hear a calling to be this person. They want to be this person, a service to the people. But again, to stand out, they have to serve the people. And they don't. Those are the outreachers. Those are the missionaries. They create armies to go reach the people. They're not the people. They're not servicing. Going back to this Pope. All he does is shake hands with leaders. He doesn't know the people. People aren't allowed to go talk to the Pope. Regular people can't. You know what I mean? That's like driving, you know what I mean, Kennedy down the fucking road. The fucking, you know what I mean, the Queen. You know, waving and shit. You're not allowed to get near these people. You're not allowed to get near celebrities. But it's not like they would wave to you or give you $5 anyways. They don't care about you. They're not going to give you their autograph. They don't want to give you a picture. They're not going to say hello. They don't care. But you make them powerful in your life. If you go to your church leader, your religious leader, and you tell him what's going on in your life, say, I'm about to lose everything. We're in financial ruin. We're in these situations. What community of church is going to, is your church going to bail you out? Mr. Plums will, if you're a faithful, loyal member of his church. They'll come together in congregation and put some money together to help you get out of your financial struggles. They'll kind of try to help you if they can. It's a good church. I told you, it's a good church. But if you were an outsider, no, they did that too. They helped someone else outside of the church too. Or Mr. Plum did. I'm not sure how that worked. But anyways, that's what the job is supposed to be. The church is supposed to serve the community. But they only serve those that are serving their church. They don't help outsiders. And the only way they'll help outsiders is if they convert to the ways of the church. They don't just help to help. There's conditions. You must, check the box and fill all this shit out. The people in the church give their money to the church, hoping that the church will give the money back to the people that they don't help. But again, if nobody in the church needs help, every person that sits in those pews is just giving every week. And they're never asking for any money back. And the church itself doesn't give back to the community, to any kind of, any kind of township, any kind of community-based giving, whether it be like, potlucks or backpack drives or, school supplies or anything. If they're not doing a food bank or a rental assistance or some kind of, clothing bank, if they're not giving anything back, where the fuck is all that money going from? 10% is what every loyal church member gives. If they want to be a jolly giver, as they will encourage you to do, you give more than 10%. 10% of your paycheck, you guys, is what the rule is across Christianity. They follow this. You're not a good Christian if you don't do this. You must understand that. 10%. Alright, so you make $80 or you make $800 check. 10% of that is what? $80. Not very hard to do. You give them $80. Alright? Times 4. What's 8 times 4? $240 a month. That's just you. There's other people in there that make $15, $25, $35, $5,000 a paycheck. 10%. Now there's 500. Out of every paycheck, every time they get money, they're told they're supposed to give 10% back to the church. In order to be a faithful Christian, you give your 10. Right? All these people are giving all this money. Hundreds and hundreds. Not in one setting, but within a month. Thousands and thousands, millions. Okay. Nobody has come to the church, this non-profit organization that's made all this profit money, and asked them to give all this money into any organization. And if you do, that's where it becomes interesting. If none of the members of the church are asking for financial, financial donations, where's all these donations going to? Where do they go? Where does the weekly tithing money go? They send it to other churches, right? They'll tell you that we're sending it to missionaries over here, people that are doing work over there, but the church itself is not doing anything. They're not working their communities. Where does all this money go? And it's a lot. Mr. Plum's typical service is in the 80s and 90s. On holidays, it gets up into the hundreds. His the Bible study stays in like the high 20s or 30s. They run that plate every time. People feel guilted into putting something in that plate. They don't want to just pass the plate. So they give something. They pass the plate every time you sit down at church. You're supposed to give when you have something to give. So they're guilted into giving all the fucking time. How many times do they have church? Two services on Sunday and one on Wednesday. 3 times a week they pass that plate around, and people are to give. And then that's just the common gift. They'll pass another plate if they're going to actually do some extra work. So-and-so is having some hard times. We'd like to do it. We'd like to put together an offering for so-and-so. It doesn't come out of the church's money. They do another offering for so-and-so. You know what I mean? The hurricane victims. We're going to put some money together for the hurricane victims. Anybody want to put that together? They're guilted. You know what I mean? The tornado victims. The so-and-so lost somebody died and they lost their farm, and we want to put together an offering. This is separate from the church's money. This is how Mr. Plum's runs. I don't know how your guys' runs. Have you ever tried to ask the church for money? Try it. Where does it all go? How much does it cost to keep the lights on a building that's already built? Are they expanding the building? Are they advertising? Do they have, commercials? Where does all these thousands of dollars go? How much is the electricity? Do they have coffee and snacks and, all of this? Like, where's all this money go? If you're buying, we're not going to buy we're going to buy instruments for the band. Okay. That might be 1 month's offerings, but where does all this money go? Month after month after month after month after month after month. If nobody's asking, they keep, receiving, but they're not giving. All over the place, aren't they? I'm getting ready for a meal. It's like, what are you going to eat? Whatever God gives me. They serve meals around here. They're always the best, too. What did we have last night? It was amazing. The night before, it was chicken fried steak or barbecued grilled chicken. It's like, these are great options. I don't know what last night was. I can't think. Alright, anyways, let's see. He wonders what he'll do now and what he'll become. Until now, his conscience was dominated by his ego, the little self made up of desires, fears, and conditioning, and his higher self could gain little ingress. And that's your programming. That's it. Before now, you were all about your ego. You're all made up of, the things you're chasing, and the things you're afraid of, and the conditioning, the rules you live by. And your higher self, your soul, has little say in what's going on here. Just then, led by a flock of black birds, a beautiful woman on a white horse appears. That could be me. And that's what they say. This is the Sagittarius card. I have come to carry your soul to the other world, she tells him. I hold the keys that open the doors between the worlds. And that's me. Go that way if you want to live. I bridge the realms of life and death, the manifested and the unmanifested, eternal and external, conscious and unconscious, fire and water. It's me. I teach you how to harness your mind and your emotions. I teach you how to walk in the here and now. I teach you how to convert from the flesh to the spirit, the conscious to the unconscious. Know that opposites can unite. Upright meaning. Temperance means moderation. The recognition that there is a middle way and that extremes are not necessary. Damn. They were pushing this on me with this girl. She reached out to me again. I'm so good at cutting people off. They're trying to get me to work on some shit. It's like, you know, that's it. They want you to master something just so you can learn another way. But I was set on this way. No, you're not. It's just the way you are. We just wanted to show you something. You're not set anyway. You go our way. It's our way, or the highway. In the sense of, not really, but there has to be leeway. There has to be room for understanding, growth, expansion. You know what I mean? There has to be compromise, is what this is really talking about. The world derives from the Latin tempere, meaning to combine properly, referring to the mixture of ingredients in the right proportion. The path of initiation begins with a journey deep down in ourselves so that we may face the darkness, fears, and limitations that lie in the false personality of your ego. And that's what it goes back to, going back to, you know, this fucking Lucifer. When are you going to face that you're all ego-based? That you're chasing nothing more than your mind and your programming and everybody's admiration and affection. That you're searching for the desires of this world. That you want what everyone else has. And every time you get one little piece of what someone else has, you can't wait to tell everyone about it. You can't wait to show a picture that you finally are somewhere where everybody else has already been. That you own the same purse as somebody else. That you're wearing the same clothes. You're eating the same fucking meal. That you do the same job as somebody else. You're not authentic because you haven't gone against anything. You're doing exactly what your mind tells you. Oscar, I want to say, just start off with, I love you, man. You're making me, you push me into unbelievable levels, but at the same time, this is part of the journey, and I'm sorry for, again, I'm growing through you. Because I did this to a lot of people before you, and when I did it to you, I become aware of the pattern and that it needs to stop, and that I can't do this with you. Why not you? Who knows? The bus stop's here. God says there's much I can learn from you. You're faced with yourself, right, Oscar? You got to a level, and you wanted to go to the next level of your spirituality. And the next level is that, the dark night of the soul, where you have to go in and you have to face your ego self. And by doing so, it happened to everyone before you, and I see it on you, but it's not you. It's just your ego self acting out. When you strive for a new way of life, your old way of life, your survival modes of your old ways kick in so unbelievably, where you become the shadow version of yourself. The things that you overcome, you now are again. You have to re-wear yourself and heal yourself. You just took it off. You never healed it. You just put it away. You tried to hide it away. Okay? So like, Russ was something beautiful until this started, and he became a shadow version of himself. He's nothing but his ego. The spirit that I fell in love with, that, you know what I mean, he was, can't be seen because he's lost in his shadows. And that's Kanye. You can't see Kanye because he's lost in his pains and his sufferings, his desires, his wants, his imagination of what he should be and what people want from him. He's trying to find his identity in anything of this world. So I got real upset with you because you were everything I was looking for, and then you went back into the world. But you had to go back into the world to take it all off. You'll have to put it back on, only to take it off again. and they haven't. And as soon as I saw you do it, I get repulsed. Once you become the ego self again, the ego, I'm out of there. But it's part of walking in spirituality. You have to put the ego back. Your ego flares up completely. You become all ego. That is the fight. The dark night of the soul, you're conscious. It's yourself versus yourself. Your higher self versus your lower self. And in the beginning, everything pushes your lower self to the surface, and you become your lower self, only to witness it for yourself and start overcoming it. And that's where we sit here and we watch Russ. We're like, do you realize that you're out here looking like a whole fucking kid? He doesn't see himself like that. He's having identity crisis, trying to find himself, not seeing the layers of himself he's tied up in. The binding, the programming of his mind. And we watch him shadow box. And I look to you and I see the same thing. You're chasing nothing in the jungle. God didn't take you in there. There's nothing spiritual in there. You're doing it for pure pride, to show off on a YouTube channel, to say you've gone somewhere and did something. You just want to show accomplishment. There's no pride in sitting around and letting God do all the work. People think that I'm a loser because I don't work. They think my life means nothing because I let God live my life. Because I don't live my life according to what they think I should do with my life. They think that I should do more with my life. But what God asked me to do is the hardest things I've ever had to do with my life. It's not too difficult to get a job and follow other people's rules. It is extremely hard to follow what God wants from me, against what everybody else said, everybody else's judgment. And that's what it is. When you walk with God, you walk against everybody else's judgment, because they don't walk with God. They don't know the God you serve. They don't know what you're doing, and they don't like what they don't know. I really liked you. I really do like you. I don't like your ego. But it's a part of you that you just need to overcome. Because not all of it's horrible. Your cockiness doesn't have to be horrible. You know what I mean? Marshall's rage doesn't have to be horrible. Ali's fucking vulnerability doesn't have to be horrible. There's power in your weaknesses. But when you try to act like you're all powerful and that you're not powerless to this behavior, you look hella weak, bro. It's repulsive to see you just throwing your dick all over the place, Wolfman. Like you don't mean anything. Like you're not worth nothing. Like you couldn't be a wonderful man. And, until you said that the other day, it's like, I believe that's not, you didn't even have it in you to want the things that men want. You just wanted to keep your dick wet. Those are the things a boy wants. The things that Lewis and Marshall and Russ want are the things of this world, the things that little boys want. You want little trophies and toys to run around and say, look what I got. Look what I got and you don't got. And I felt so much of that come off of your behaviors. You know what I mean? The show off. And that's where it's real. It's a turn off, bro. A show off is a turn off. Always competing with others and trying to show off that you're as good as or better than is a turn off. Being honest about just living your life and it's not the greatest life and you really kind of suck at it is a really funny show. I enjoy that show. I enjoy every time logic jumps up on it and tries to make some kind of advertisement of some shit of his life, and he has no idea. It's about, I can't even pretend. Come check out my book. Come follow me. Like, his dog's barking. Shut the fuck up! That's me. Like, I'm in the middle of life. It don't look so good down here. But that's what's cool, is because people can relate. You know what I mean? When you try to make yourself all big and bad and put yourself above everyone, you sit outside of everyone, and nobody wants to hang out with someone like that. Or maybe they do, the people that want the things that you want. Which is what everybody covets that they see. They all want to be something on TV or on their screen. But that's not who you are. You just want to be them. You want to be them so bad that, and you want to show off and say you're better than them by being them, but better. There's no reason for you to jump out of a plane more than once, maybe twice. I want to try it one more time. You're going to do better at it? Out of what? You want to be part of the small class of people that jump out of planes? What's the point of that? It's supposed to be an experience, not one you relive and become a master at. What's the mastering of jumping? When is that going to be useful? Do you have a master plan that you're going to end your life? Are you JB? What was that guy? What was that guy that jumped out of the plane and disappeared? Is that your past life? Do you resonate with that? Like, what the fuck is this all about? Have an adventure and go have another. But in the essence, it just you seemed very shallow, where all you wanted was the things of this world. But then when you spoke of your heart wanting, more, wanting the same things that real people want, then you become a real person. Other than that, you're just a little boy, a playboy, is what I called you, a sex doll. You advertise yourself as, you know what I mean, a dick that everyone wants. I'm not really dick hungry. I wanted to get to know you and know everything else. I want to know about your life. I want to know about your experiences. I want to know about your shadows. I want to know about your fears. I want to know about, you know what I mean, your pains and sufferings. I want to know about the things you won't tell people. I want to know about you. I don't want to see what, you know what I mean, what you're showing people that you think people will like. I want to see the things you don't like about yourself. I want that. And I was able to, you know what I mean, in essence, is you made me, as a mirror, you made me see a lot, you pushed me to discover more about myself and more about the world and more about others. Just kind of a moment of silence there. The path of initiation begins with a journey deep down in ourselves so that we may face our darkness, fears, and limitations that lie there in the false personality of the ego. Only by descending into the darkness can the soul renew itself. And that's where you put your child self back on. It's hideous to watch, but you have to, and that's what's in my videos too. You'll watch my ego flare. You'll watch me get triggered by everything. You'll watch me lose control in all my feelings and learn how to overcome them. You'll watch the darkness become me and me become the light inside of the darkness. What's hard to see is that you're not becoming any lighter. You're just getting darker and darker. Because you're not really going for your soul. You're going back. You're trying to hold on to the earth. You're not really letting go. You don't want to lose yourself. You don't want to lose this world. You don't want to lose your standing. You don't want to lose your reputation. You don't want to lose people's respect. You don't want to lose money. You don't want to lose. But you have to surrender your old self to the new self, which means you're going to have to lose. You're going to lose your mind. in order to gain your heart. It's all about loss. Death, transformation, and rebirth. A death is a loss. A death is an ultimate ending of an old way. And that transforms you, and you start a new way. Jesus' death and resurrection was the end of an old way of life. Your end of your job is an old way of life. Don't do that job anymore. You've already done that job. You don't need to do that job anymore. You've realized that that job doesn't bring you happiness. Go do another job you've never done before. Try something you've never had before. Believe in yourself. Apply yourself. Learn a new skill. Only to be the best at it and never do that shit again either. Stop going back to, you know what I mean, the relationships. I don't hold on to them. I do everything to let go of them. That's all I try to do, is let go of everything that I think is holding me back. I'm trained to understand this. My relationships come back because I let go too soon. There was too much. I ran away from it. I didn't let go of it. I ran away from it, is what the difference is, I think. And history will show that. In these twin flame readings and shit, I'm the runner. Meaning, why do they keep coming back? Because they were never meant to end. You just tried to end something that wasn't meant to end. And that's knowing the difference. If it's over, it's really over. Let it be over. Walk in the ending, and a new beginning will happen. In essence, the person's never really dead. Just like Joe Budden and fucking, you know, those people. Are you serious, bro? God put you guys at the same place, two of America's Most Wanted at the same motherfucking place at the same motherfucking time? What were the fucking chances of that? Impossible, bro. Impossible. Those niggas bought the same tickets right in front of each other. That was God. God is in the Matrix, bro. God did that, bro. Nobody did that. God did that. Do you know how? They both were guided. You pick your own tickets, losers. They were both guided to that same place at that same time. Their higher selves told them to choose those seats. Was that the devil tempting them? Or was that God pushing them? Sounds like motherfucking Kobe, you ask me. I'm sure he was courtside on some shit. Laughing at LeBron James. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Thug life, dude. We were all there. I wasn't. Where was I? Right here in the here and now. Minding my own business. Dealing with my kids and shit. Teaching people about God. I'm a priestess. I'm right here. That's why I got eyes and ears all over. They take care of that shit. They come back and tell me what's going on. What's going on? No way. No way. No way. Don't worry about what you guys are doing. You guys are doing the most. Doing the most. Alright, we're never going to get through this. 2 hours on one card. Temperance. We're leaving it on this. What did we say? Something about your darkness. This is far from the end of the journey. It's only a glimpse of what's possible. We must start to return to the outer world, acting from our connection with the spiritual realm. And this is a difficult transition. That's my problem. Which means that the process can often be abandoned or rejected as ego resurfaces and will be seen in the underworld or the tower. That means you try to go out and be spiritual and you go back out and be an asshole. The gap between world and spirit, between outer conscious and inner self, between fire and water, earth and air, must be bridged and reconciled. In a reading, Temperance indicates that you've been through a difficult time, but now this is a card of forgiveness, blessing, and healing if you're willing to allow it. Now is not the time for outward action. And this is absolute confirmation. We're still in a fucking lockdown. I don't know. It's not like I really had anything to do. I have no urge to do anything. It's not like I'm like, all right, I'm excited. I want to go do some shit. What am I going to do with my life? Be like everyone else? Go to the places I've already been? Do the things I've already done? I want to do, I wait. And then he still takes me to the places I've already been to do the shit I already did. I'm not going to do it willingly. It must be forced. Feel the force inside of you. Anyways, You should be still, listen, reflect, and absorb the lessons that you've been given. Temperance represents a connection with your higher self, spiritual purpose, bringing soul growth, harmony, and a sense of inner peace into your life. You must begin with the process of abjuring extremes by pursuing right action, all circumstances which may not involve acting at all. I told you that in your reading, Wolfman, the Sagittarius. This. They have to. You have to be forgiving, compassionate, and fucking compromisable. You have to be able to be flexible, bro. She's like the wind. That's a good song from Dirty Dancing. That's what I heard. She's like the wind. That's a good song. In the essence, you can't be so fixated on an outcome, or, you know what I mean, stuck in a feeling or a way of thinking. This too shall pass. It's just a thought. It's just a feeling. We overcome this. We don't act in all of our feelings and all of our thoughts. Not all of it is real. You don't have to make it all real. And then, you know, going back to your video, yeah, it's... What did Persephone learn from Hades? Acceptance. Persephone and Hades is a story about compliance. I'm going to learn. I'm not going to fight this. I yell at him. I told him yesterday, I'm not going to surrender to you. But yet I do. God makes me. I tried not to the first time. I fucked around and got locked up in spiritual court. I can't not surrender to him. This is the one. This is the one you're going to make me surrender to? In a sense or two. But in the sense of when I surrender to you, I find out that it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to let you be right. You're not fully wrong. You just don't know it all. Your ego's a little bit, you know what I mean, boastful. But as your videos show, you're willing to take in information and have the conversation. You're not, you know what I mean, completely, you're a fire sign, so you're not completely fixated. But in the sense of, you know, can you teach an old dog new tricks? And that's what it is. It's a learning. Can you be taught new, you know what I mean, how to deal with people differently? Can you have different reactions? Can you take different risks? Can you be different with different people? Can you handle different people? And that's what it is. Where did you come from? It's not like fucking, you know what I mean? Look what I did to Draco. He disappeared real fast. He's in his shadows. Uh-huh. That's what happens. But as you deal with them, they bring you back to me. Only so we can deal with, you know, it's a mirror. Oh, we're ready to face again, huh? What do we got to face now? These are next level. I couldn't face these things with them. They weren't ready to face such things. When I met you, I said I was, you know what I mean, I was going into my Empress and I needed an Emperor. You kept swearing you were an Emperor, but you kept acting like a page. But now I realize that, you know, it's part of the journey. It's really what will happen. As soon as we start ripping this, you know, I start ripping you up, you're going to start acting up. But in the acting, you catch yourself in your actions. You're not aware of your actions until you start acting in them. And then you can start changing them. People are always trying to tell you how you act. You have to see it for yourself. And that's why God will put me in positions where I have to do reenactments. That was a good one. Bobby made it clear. I hate to be so grotesque about it, but he made it very clear that all he could give me was dick. And I acted like I didn't want that. Like that wasn't something I needed in my life. History showed that was a complete lie. And in essence, I admitted that I was, you know what I mean? You know, because those feelings came up with Oscar. I got turned on, dude. I got excited. I had never felt like that. Like, I wanted a piece of him. I, wanted to, I thought he was sexy. I had an attraction. I didn't know what was happening inside of me. But I would never act on that with a complete stranger. So then it was back to Bobby. Back to day one. The only one person that you might have acted on that. No, I'll never do that again. There was nothing wrong with the way you acted. No, it was all wrong. And that's where it is we think that our actions are wrong and we can't act in them because it was deemed a bad way to act. So I can't act in these feelings. I deemed myself, you know what I mean, wrong for acting in my sexual desires for that man. So then when I had sexual desires for another man, I ran away from it and went back to my pains of what happened last time I acted in my sexual desires. Only for them to build all the way back up and me act in them again and realize that it wasn't a bad thing. In the essence, he serves a purpose, right? Could be a Scorpio. So Scorpio stand for is sex, death, transformation, and rebirth. If you fuck him, this is gonna kill you, and you'll be reborn. Really? Hey, Mike, are you gay or are you straight? You still married? That's all I said to him the other day. Are you really married? I don't think he understood that at all. I was fucking with him. Why? Because I know how to fuck with people. And I'll be like, quit fucking with me. Why are you always fucking with me? Alright, my phone's about to die on this note, but I called in the next challenge and I said I wasn't, and then I found out I wasn't ready. I thought I was ready, and then I wasn't. I had to go back to the things that had stunted me before. What happened between me and Bobby, my first sexual experience, stunted my growth. I had to literally re-experience that and be okay with it. And find, you know what I mean, to find myself in it, that what I did wasn't wrong, that it was all right and it felt right and I actually enjoyed what I did and I shouldn't be fucking feeling bad about it. And I did it and I was scared. I did it all over again. I'm like, oh God, you did it again. But I wasn't feeling bad. And then the next day, Marshall comes out with this video. Are you tired of blowjobs? I was like, oh my God, the world knows. It was like nobody knew. Nobody knew. Nobody knew what I did but me. But here it comes, bro. You better just own that shit. And here comes Marshall. I gotta tell the man I love that I just went and blew Bobby again. Which is not a man I don't love. You're like, how can you love all them? I can't even explain it, bro. When I'm seeing Allie, he's all heartbroken about what I did to him this morning. Like I said, I don't want to be like the men in your wake. Wake up, bro. This is gonna hurt. You got the best of it, okay? That's all he could give me. And I wanted more. I wanted more than his dick. But denying that I wanted dick was funny too. I didn't even know I did. That's what it is. It's like, I thought you were all I ever wanted. Till you showed me that they didn't be anymore and I wanted more. You were all I ever wanted until I realized I wanted more. And then you told me you couldn't be more. Well, there's a problem here. What, I'm not supposed to want more? I want more. I don't know. Going back to Bobby, what did you... I didn't want him to be mystical. I figured he'd figure it out. I would teach that shit. You'll figure this out along the way. Everyone becomes mystical. I don't expect you to be like me. There's nobody like me. You become like me by practice and training like I do. If you're living in my house, you're going to learn some shit. If you're around me long enough, you're going to catch on to this. I wasn't worried about that type of shit. I wanted someone that I could be myself around that I could just be myself. And I felt that way with him because he knew whatever I was before this. And then he watched me become this, so I thought that I was safe with him. That no matter what I was, he was going to accept it. And that was good enough for me. God could figure out all the rest, even though I was scared of the rest. What about his wife? What about his children? What about all his finance problems? He's got like credit issues and he worries about money a lot and all of that. And I'm not taught to worry about money. I'm supposed to trust God. He doesn't believe in the same God, and he doesn't believe in such things. He's God in all these people's lives. And he wants to fucking play God. And what if he wants to play God in my life? And then you got fucking, you know what I mean? The same thing, you know? You're like, there's nothing wrong with fucking Russ. We could have fun. My kids would love you. We could have fun. I could teach you a bunch. We could do all this. You understand this. We could do this. Music and stuff, this could be great. No, bro, he wants to he wants to chase the fucking crowds and do weird shit, dude. He wants to be like, you know, a TikTok fucking artist and shit. He wants to be like, I don't know. You can't raise kids like that. My kids are gonna want to be like that, dude. I'm trying to teach them not to be like that. You're acting like a whole kid right now. You know what I mean? Lewis. He'd be a great stepdad. Nah, bro, he doesn't stand up for anybody. He wants to play dress up. He wants to be flashy and shit. He's gonna teach our kids to fucking be all fucking messy. Marshall? I didn't say that Marshall couldn't be any of that. He just, at the end, it was that he would never leave his job. He always has to be Eminem. Marshall's capable of all those things, dude. But Eminem, he can't. Marshall can't be free if he's Eminem. It's an altered ego. It's a personality. It's a way of life that he has to live to be that guy. If Marshall didn't give up Eminem, then I couldn't. There's no Marshall. Eminem rules his life. He's just Eminem. I love Marshall Mathers. Ooh, my whole ears just went completely quiet. I love him to death. He could be a great father. He could be a great leader. He could teach her. He's full of wisdom. He's full of fun. He's all of those things. But what makes him you know what I mean? He's still following the crowds. He doesn't want to stand outside of the crowds. He wants to be part of. He wants to, you know what I mean? He always wants to establish his place in the crowd. He doesn't want to leave the crowd. I don't think he really has a problem with living in a trailer or downsizing. He doesn't eat fancy foods. He's not really big on all of that shit. It's not all about pride. It's his own fear of leaving everything he knows to be something he's never been. And he failed at it before. He failed at being a husband and a father as he thinks he did. He didn't fail. That's like me saying I failed at being a first-time mother. I was a teenager. What were you? You just didn't give yourself another chance to get better at it. In essence, we didn't fail. They didn't fail us. Nothing's a failure. It just didn't work like we wanted it to. Your marriage didn't work. Neither did mine. Many people don't. That's Bobby. Like, he doesn't care it doesn't work. He's not going to give it up. Marriages don't work, bro. If you want to sit and do it, I guess. Is it better to be unhappy with a person or, you know what I mean? Unhappy because now you got to learn how to, be by yourself. I don't know, dude. Because in by yourself, you learn how to find happiness. If you're unhappy with a person, there's no happiness. Because you still have to find the happiness within yourself, outside of that person. I'm just saying. Whatever. My phone's about to die. Let's see. Temperance represents a connection to your higher self and spiritual purpose, bringing soul growth, harmony, and a sense of inner peace. You must begin this process by abjuring or by pursuing right action of all circumstances, which may not involving, and then I see Lewis, which might not involve acting at all. Lewis in a post said, I'm going to need a brain transplant to understand how to make this car work. Meaning he already accepts that he doesn't know how to work this vehicle. How is he, he's in deep. If he can't get what he wants, then why is he doing it? And that's realizing the things you do no longer bring joy to you, and you no longer want the things you used to want. Do you think he really wants to race with Ferrari when he can't drive the car? And he signed a contract for 2 years. He's got to keep figuring this out. He has no choice but to figure this out. And he could spend the whole fucking year never figuring out that car. And next year. He didn't think it was going to be this hard. But he didn't think. They purposely made a car for Lewis year after year based on his feedback. They made the car to his specifications. And he told them he was going to get in somebody else's car he's never drove before. Sorry, Lewis. I don't know what to tell you. Reverse meaning. Temperance reverse suggests that you often act inappropriately without considering the consequences, going from one extreme to another. You may benefit from visiting a healer or counselor who will help you understand what changes you need to make in order for you to find greater purpose and lasting happiness. Your thoughts and emotions could manifest in physical illness. Illness arises from misdirected life force, but disease has no energy except what derives from you. Healing is brought about by the lessons of temperance, by allowing the life force to flow freely instead of directing it towards self-destruction. I'm going to end on this note, and it's a terrible note. Hailey Bieber has cysts on her ovaries. They don't know where they come from. All right, that's her sacral chakra. Her husband has been having sex with men, and then came and gave her whatever energy that was. That secret that he won't face, that he put inside of her, that she knows, that she's hiding, is hidden in there, and now it's going to eat her alive. That's her husband. Do you think she didn't know what was going on? Did you think as much as she loved him, did she want to tell everybody? How long were they married? How long was this going on before she realized that he was having sexual relations with men? Did she want her life to end? What if people find out that he was gay? What if people, what if I'm never gonna, he's my husband, nobody's gonna love me? What if, as much as it's his secret, it was her secret to keep too. And as much as it's eating him alive, it's eating her alive. They say sexually transmitted diseases, but they're sexually transmitted demons, generational curses. You can't put that inside of me, dude. Don't put that anger and hatred and all of that in me. And that's what I was talking about yesterday. You're not going to fuck me. Take your feelings out on me. Those feelings are going to create a child filled with all of those dark feelings that you took out on my womb. That one night stand where you just wanted to fuck someone. You fucked up a life like that. Not just mine, but you made another one. When a woman lays down and gives her power to that man and lets that man fuck up her life. You know what I mean? You guys are giving into these feelings, and they're fucking up not just your life, but other kids. Because those kids are made up of those fucked up feelings that you laid with that person with. All the reasons that you laid with him. I laid with you because I was insecure. Because I wanted to feel sexy. Because I wanted someone to make me feel important. Those are what your kids are made up of. Insecurities, rejection, desperation, codependency, alcohol, drugs. Were you high when you got high? When you got fucked? All of this, and this is what magic is made out of. The elements. All of the elements of you and this person combined made a life. And you expect this child to have a better life than you when it was made of you. All the darkness of you and all the darkness of this person. The only light in that child is God. If he or she finds their way back to God and discovers their light, if they overcome the darkness that's been put on them by their parents, the generations of curses. It goes back to, why did you even have children? Oh, you were just fucking, huh? You didn't care of the consequences, that you were going to ruin somebody's life? That this could actually ruin somebody's life? You feeling good could actually ruin somebody's life? Healing. That's all we're at. I'm leaving it at that. 2 hours, 8 minutes.